Hey everybody, what's going on there? Hope everybody's good. This is SITREP 28, 15th of March 2020. So, yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay out there in coronavirus land. I mean, everybody's safe and sound. You got toilet paper, for God's sakes, man. What is going on in this world? I've seen craziness in Australia, and so it's not just here in my town. It's not just in my state, my country. The whole world's lost its damn mind right now. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine if we had a food or a water crisis? We'd be like those monkeys in Sri Lanka that are freaking making these big gangs and attacking each other and stuff. It's insane. Relax, people. Good Lord. So, let me get right into this here. So, corrections. In the last sit rep, I talked about my joints, and I said no, not those kind of joints. LOL. And then I never talked about it again. That's because I remade that video and I forgot to talk. I forgot to talk about my joints. So what I want to say is, I've had this joint pain, and it's pretty much from my hips up. On even my joints that aren't torn or broken right now. Everything's been hurting. I don't know what's going on, but it's a weird thing. I just thought I'd document it. I went to my dentist for a cleaning about a week ago or so, and he said that I got this thing going on in my tooth that he capped, and he said that I could have a root canal. So remember I said back in SITREP 2 that I can't have any dental work done, and I can't have a tooth pulled. Like, you have to grind it down, and then later on I corrected that and said I'm not really sure. Well, it's like 85 degrees here right now, guys. I hope it's warm where you are, by the way. So yeah. Anyway, so apparently I can have some stuff done, like a root canal, and I think does a root go down in the bone, or I don't know how that works, but so I guess that's good news. I don't know if I'm gonna have it done, but whatever. Symptoms and additions. So I have to have thyroid blood work done in preparation for my upcoming PET scan on the 31st of March. So your thyroid gland is in the path of radiation beams, whatever, and it might get damaged. It often gets damaged, so that you have to do blood work to see what's going on there. Your thyroid, and you don't want to damage that. That's bad juju. I mean, it controls a lot of stuff, not just your weight, or your metabolism, but a bunch of other stuff too, apparently. So I hope to God everything's okay there. I did lose some weight, but that's kind of par for the course. We'll talk about that in a minute. Got my notes here, by the way. Hope you can hear me over the pool pump. I kind of changed my orientation a little bit so I could take advantage of the sun. I ain't been in the sun a whole lot, so my turkey neck is possibly what they call lymphedema, and it doesn't just happen in your neck. It happens wherever there's lymph nodes. So your lymph nodes are strategically placed in joints of your body. They're in all your joints. And that's because when you move your joints, they're like little pumps. So when you move the joint, it squeezes your lymph node, and that moves liquid throughout your body and toxins, right? Well, radiation or cancer might have damaged these lymph nodes in my neck, and you have a bunch of them, right? Up and under your jaw and all kinds of craziness, right? Back by your ears. They might get damaged, so they might not be moving liquid along very well, and that might be why I got the turkey neck, because it's built up there. Liquids are, and the reason I know that is, so it's kind of funny, right? I've been dealing with this now since, well, what is it, September? And I did a bunch of research. I'm pretty good at research, and I couldn't find a whole lot of stuff about specifically tonsillar squamous cell carcinoma. Well, I came across this video from this dude named John Martin, and I'll put the link in the description box below if you guys want to check him out. He had lymphedema, and it was diagnosed by his doctor, and he had like this kind of thing that went over his head and around here, had these patches here that kind of pushed in on it, and caused compressed the lymph nodes, and that's what helped the fluid dissipate. So I don't know. I got to talk to my doc about that, but And there's a bunch. I mean, I'll tell you, this video, it was done in 2017. But he covers everything. I mean, I agree with probably 97, 98% of what he talks about is exactly what I went through. Now, it's not the in-depth videos like mine, but if you want to get just the wave tops of, tonsil cancer from soup to nuts, from start to finish, man, his video, and you don't want to watch 28 of my videos. His video is an awesome source of information, and if you're dealing with tonsillar cancer, I would highly recommend you go to the link and check out John's video. So on updates, my taste buds are still terrible. I gotta say they might be improving a little bit maybe, but case in point about the weird stuff that happens when you're a cancer patient, right? So the other day I had a terrible taste in my mouth, and I've had this kind of sour taste. It's not so bad right now, but I still taste it. But I've had this sourness way in the back of my throat, and the bitter. I think it's the bitter portion of your tongue. So I was in the bathroom. I grabbed some peppermint or spearmint mouthwash, gargled, spit it out, and within a couple seconds, I tasted cinnamon. Now it wasn't real strong, and it didn't last long. It was only like a couple, 3 seconds. But cinnamon, it's spearmint or peppermint. How the heck do you get cinnamon? Now I don't know if there's cinnamon in there or what, but that's the kind of stuff I was like, what the heck is going on here? Weird, very weird. My salivary gland is pretty much status quo. Not a whole lot of changes there. I think it might be getting a little better, but not great. It's just the whole situation is not good. And I was hoping, I made some strides early, but I'm just stalled. It doesn't look like it looks going to take a long time to get back to normal, if it does at all, and it might not. That really sucks. Chemo fog. Chemo fog. I talked about this a while ago, but lately, the last maybe week and a half or so, 2 weeks, I've been in this massive chemo fog, and it's like, it almost feels like it's from my eyes forward and up, like right here, and maybe my temples too, maybe my ears forward, like this area. It's like I'm congested, and I can't. It's almost to the point of being dizzy, if that makes any sense to you. I don't know if I'm describing this right, but it's kind of like almost being dizzy. But it's the side effect, or the effect of it, is that I seem to struggle sometimes paying attention, for one, and just following a process through from the beginning to the end logically. Like I'm able to come to a logical conclusion, but getting there and looking at the facts sometimes is just slow. It's not inaccurate. It's just slower than normal. And sometimes it seems to have peaks and troughs. When it's peaking, man, I'm just like zoning out, like it's so weird. I don't know what's causing that, but I wish it would go away, because I'm not taking chemo anymore. But they say the result, the ramifications and side effects of chemo and radiation, it lasts a while. So yeah, for real. I get an upset stomach every time I eat something, and if I don't take a Tums after I eat, it will last until bedtime. And it's not real strong. It's right below my solar plexus, high on my stomach or esophagus area, above my feed tube, and kind of centered on my abdomen, left to right. And the last 3 or 4 days, I've actually been getting it. Even when I look at food like I'm getting ready to eat, I get an upset stomach. And I don't want to eat, guys. Eating sucks. I mean, I know what's going to happen when I eat. The first bite, when I first put the food in my mouth, a lot of times I'll get an idea of the taste. The taste will be quasi-normal. I think it's just the smell and everything that's involved. But then it's almost like it gets shocked, and before long, it's dry, and then I have to sip water that dilutes everything, and before I know it, I have a mouthful of material that I'm just trying to get down. I mean, that's the bottom line, and that's no way to eat. I mean, it just sucks. I hate eating, and when I do eat, as much as I try, portion wise, I'm not eating. I'm eating about a quarter to a third of what I would normally eat. I don't eat breakfast. I never did. And even today, lunch, I haven't eaten lunch, and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. I think I'm just not hungry. Yeah. So I've been taking a reflux pill. I just started taking that last night, and I woke up. Everything seems to be okay right now. I got a little bit of an upset stomach, but not bad. I have a constant drip way down low in the back of my throat, about here. And normally it's up higher in your throat, right? If you have postnasal drip, this seems to be lower, and it's constant. It's not like there's anything there thick that I can cough up or spit up or anything. It's just dripping. It's terrible. And weight-wise, guys, as close as I can figure out, I wish I had taken note of what my weight was before this whole thing started. I think it was about 184, but let's just say it was 180. My home scale now is saying I weigh 160, so I've lost 20 pounds, right in around 20 pounds. And again, I feel hungry, but I just don't want to eat. I've actually considered going back and using my feed tube again, just so I don't lose too much weight. This week was my first week back to work, and felt good to get back, getting up in the morning and got a purpose in life. So, strength-wise was good. I didn't lose my, I felt good while I was there. I wasn't sleepy or anything like that, or groggy even though I was bored to death, because one of the things that I did when I left was kind of pass off my responsibilities to my man Greg, and so now that I'm back, we got new team members on that have also picked up doing some of the stuff that I did. So I'm just trying to find my place, and everybody's around me is kind of like, yeah, take your time, ease into it. I'm ready to jump back in with both feet, but sometimes that you just can't do that. But it's good to see everybody. Everybody's been super supportive. I appreciate that. Everybody's been patient with me. The building I work in has been freezing though, and they're doing some construction, and they actually offered to move people to a different building. But if you move, you're going to be gone during the whole construction time, and that can be up to like a year. So I just got back with my team, and I don't want to have to move. But man, I'll tell you, I actually brought a heating pad to work, and my wrists, maybe that's part of the reason my joints hurt. But I've been wrapping that around my wrist one at a time, and some days all day, just to keep my hands warm. I mean that, and then there's been some people on the cubes right around me that complained about it too. But I don't know if it justifies me moving to another building. I'll be away from my team again, so that kind of sucks. But so that's it for all that. Under other stuff category, today my daughter and I spent some father-daughter bonding time on a project. And look, here's the bottom line. Some people, they might, build a birdhouse with their daughter. My daughter's a little older. Maybe you paint a bedroom or something like that. But here's what me and my daughter did today for a bonding project. So, we're an Army family. So what we do is break jobs. That's how we bond. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but one of the things that kind of, I'm not going to say shocked me, but, when I was doing the wall project, I was breaking around some stones, and my daughter was out there helping me, and I was kind of like, yeah, do it this way, or you can flip the rake around if you want to move material, like a lot of it. She's like, where did you learn all this stuff, And I said it was from my dad. I mean, and everything that I did out there, raking stone, and I watched my dad build brick walls, so I know about the footer, and I know about how to keep things level. And So all that stuff, it's true. I mean, I learned it from my dad, and I'm kind of like, I don't know what else I can pass on to my daughter. Um, a lot of times she's a full-time student, so she hasn't been around when I do a lot of projects. So, but she owns her own car, and I'm kind of like, it needs brakes. It needed brakes, so I'm like, we're gonna do it. So we actually we did a brake job. We actually didn't do a full brake job. We didn't do pads and rotors, but her rotors are good, so we just did brake pads. But yeah, it was cool, and I taught her how to fish, and then I stood back and she fished, and so yeah, it was kind of cool to kind of watch her learn that. She jumped right in, so it was kind of neat. But don't forget to take time to do that with your kids. It's important, right? The last thing, this is kind of, I have kicked this topic around for at least weeks, and probably sporadically even before that, here and there, right? And that's talking about my emotions. So that was weird. I sound like my voice just changed. I'm going through puberty or something. Anyway, so yeah, so remember this. These videos are dual purpose. They're used. I use them to communicate what's going on with me to my friends, family, workmates, loved ones, and all that. And that's worked awesome, and I appreciate everybody respecting that instead of me sending out with these things, trying to type on a phone with that. It sucks. Or emails, just I do one time shot, I upload it, and everybody can see what's going on their own, right? It's been great. The other one though is to hopefully pass on information to people that are going through what I'm going through, and get them information that they can use, right? So I didn't find a whole lot on tonsil cancer from my own research. So, but if I'm going to be totally honest here, and I think the reason I've struggled with talking about my emotions is it doesn't fit both those audiences, right? It's probably going to not sit too well with my family, friends, and everything. But I got to be honest with the people that are looking at my videos that have cancer. So here it goes, guys. So I'm going to do this with a caveat that I don't mean to scare anybody, but I think it's necessary, because I don't want to give anybody, false hope based on bravado. That's just not cool. So, most of you guys know, if you watch my first video, I'm a 30-year Army veteran. I mean, I've been some places and done some stuff. That doesn't make me superhuman. That doesn't make me not have emotions, right? So, and I got to tell you right now, I'm scared to death. I mean, this, cancer is no joke. You always hear about people dying from it. I mean, I've been following some people on YouTube that posted videos just like I did. Hey, guess what? I was just diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago. And some of those folks, I mean, if you look at the videos they posted, they're no longer with us. And again, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but that's the reality of cancer. You just don't know. Top that off with, in my particular case, I started off with a civilian doc. They said one thing. I went to the VA. They said another. When you start talking about tonsillar squamous cell carcinoma, which is what I have, tonsil cancer, human papilloma virus, HPV-16 comes into play, because some cancers that are caused by HPV have a much higher prognosis or a much better chance of recovering from. The civilian said mine was HPV based. The VA said no, and I have to believe no, because I smoked like a chimney and drank like a fish for 30 damn years. So I'm guessing no. Mine is not HPV related. I got full-blown cancer, right? But here's the bottom line, guys, okay? I still haven't got to the bottom. I haven't got a solid prognosis on myself. So, and I've researched tonsillar, cancer, and I found, one paper that was published is from 2008. It was from the National Institute of Health. So I know it's a reputable entity that wouldn't just accept any paper or study from a group of individuals. and that one says that the prognosis for this kind of cancer is 46 to 70%. So what does that tell you? The bottom line is they don't know. I mean, if you Google it, if you look at Wikipedia, even Wikipedia, I mean, anybody can submit stuff to Wikipedia. It just gets peer reviewed, and if it gets accepted, then it's put on Wikipedia as fact. That's the way it works, guys. So, but even Wikipedia is sidesteps the subject of cancer prognosis, because nobody wants to give anybody false hope, right? I mean, think about it, and nobody wants to commit because there's so many different, things that come into play, right? Your staging comes into play, your family genetics. Are you still smoking and drinking, or participate in other high risk activities? You know what I mean? So it's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's no magic wand that somebody can wave and say, hey, you are, you get a 95% chance of survival, right? So without that, I mean, it's fear of the unknown, guys, right? You're just floating around out here like, I don't know. So for me, for instance, the next thing for me is my PET scan on 31 March. And then it's going to take a couple days for my doc to read it and us get together and find out if we got the cancer or not. I mean, there's a possibility we didn't get it. And if we didn't, then there's a whole next, thing. Did it spread somewhere? Where did it spread? Obviously, what's the treatment for that? Has it spread so far that there is no treatment, or is there going to be treatment, or there's a whole slew of things, that a lot of unknowns, a lot of scary stuff. I mean, this is not I broke my wrist. This is you got cancer, and that's serious business. So I going back to the way I've been rolling since day one. I'm keeping a positive mental attitude, and that's why, because you got two options. I mean, you're going to be in the dark on a lot of this stuff, so you have the decision to make. You're going to sit there and mull it over and be all negative about it, or you're just going to take it one day at a time and be as positive as you can. I choose the latter. I'm not going to sit here and mope around, even though I sit here and tell you a lot of stuff about myself that's not so pleasant. But again, that's just keeping everybody abreast, and especially giving information to people that are like me, that have cancer and are just looking for information. So anyway, guys, that's the gist of it. That's kind of where I'm at. Hopefully nobody's running out to buy toilet paper because I just told you that. Getting all crazy about it. Actually, that's no joke. I mean, there's people out there right now that are actually out of toilet paper, and that's kind of terrifying. I mean, not terrifying, but I mean that's not a pleasant thought, guys. I feel for them. I mean, we happen to have been stocked up, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing okay out there. Anyway, that's all I got, folks. I mean, I hope everybody's staying cool out there and level-headed, and I hope everything is good in your neck of the woods. And that's it. I guess we'll talk to you soon. All right, peace. See you later.